So anyway, guys, so now I need to develop myself. I need to do something special for myself so I can grow. I was just learning some German. And now I'm just at home over here looking to quit smoking, looking to overcome smoking cigarettes. And the best way I can do that is for myself to speak it out and to learn from what I say and do. So I have to keep my word, I have to keep being honest with myself so I can grow. And that's what you have to do. You have to be able to control your temper. But every single day, I'm understanding now, since I quit cigarettes and caffeine, I can go to sleep early, I can wake up early, I can really try to quit smoking now and caffeine. I really understand that next time I get a craving or something like that, I'm going to speak it out. I'm going to talk via my audio programs, or I'm going to write something down, or I'm going to do music composition or German in life, and I'm going to learn my way into fruition. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to be in the moment. I'm understanding that there's nothing else to do other than audio programs right now. And I'm learning every single time. I'm learning something different. I'm always making sure I'm growing my communicational skills. I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to always be able to see what I'm going to do next for myself. But what my mum wants me to do is she wants me to quit caffeine, and she wants me to go to bed earlier first of all. She wants me to go to bed earlier. She wants me to rise up early and wake up early. And I understand that life. I've been doing that life before. And I understand how it is. But I have to quit caffeine. I have to quit caffeine so I can do that for myself. Otherwise it gets bad for me. I understand that when I smoke cigarettes and drink caffeine together, it's the worst thing ever. It's the worst habit to have. And you must understand that caffeine no longer makes me something big. I'm understanding that caffeine is a psychoactive drug. And I'm understanding that I need to grow from it. I need to develop myself to make sure I stay away from the caffeine, I stay away from the cigarettes and the nicotine. I have to grow myself, I have to be in the moment, I have to make sure I'm doing something remarkable for myself. I have to be making sure I'm learning all the time. I have to always develop myself in some kind of way. I have to make sure I'm doing a lot of content. I have to make sure every single time I'm always learning and growing at the same time, so that I can help myself to develop, and so I can build a social media following. But the thing is, with social media following, I understand that I have to keep going. I have to keep developing myself. I have to keep doing something to always help myself to grow. I'm understanding that I have to really develop myself every single time. I'm looking to develop. I'm always looking to grow myself. But the best thing I can do now is follow Jesus Christ and try to amends my life to do better in life, and try to do something much more with gratitude every single time. I'm understanding that if I grow myself and if I do something much more better for myself, I'm understanding that I can learn, I can grow, I can develop my freedom, I can develop my courage. But what's to come in my life now is Jesus Christ. I'm understanding now over the next week I have to also do some appointments, such as my injection. I have to get my injection, I have to go to the doctor, I have to also do my assessment with disability support pension. I also have to go APM appointment. So I have a few things to do this week, but I have to also make sure that I'm doing great for myself. I have to make sure I'm cleaning my teeth and brushing my teeth. I have to be taking care of myself. I have to get back in the rhythm. I have to make sure that I never fail. And I understand that when I fail, I learn from it. I have to fail to learn. But everyone suffers in this lifetime to some extent. Everybody's suffering, and I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that some people who are doing better than yesterday are doing heaps better than other people. I'm understanding that what I need to do now is grow myself in every single moment. I have to find something to do for myself. But the best thing I can do now is just grow myself personally. I'm understanding now that my nice and beautiful vocabulary is growing. I'm learning synonyms and antonyms. I'm developing my German language. I'm growing myself in other ways. I'm making sure that I have Mega Drive with me. I'm learning and growing. I'm developing myself as much as I can. I mean, what else can I say? I have to develop. I have to make sure I'm always doing a better job for myself moving forward. And I'm learning how to progress in my life. But I have to be coaching behind the scenes. I have to be coaching behind the scenes much more for myself to deliver content and for myself to really, really grow. I have to understand that my podcast matters and what I do matters. I'm understanding now my mum wants to open up a hostel in Spain or Portugal right now, and depending on what she wants to do is what I have to do as well. So she may open a hostel in Portugal or Spain, and then we're going to work 6 months and be on holiday for 6 months at a time. So I'm understanding that's going to be a new life for me, where I'm understanding that I have to learn, I have to grow, I have to develop myself. Regardless, I have to really, really help benefit myself in the long term. I'm understanding with these new books I have to keep going, I have to keep investing money into books. I'm understanding I do have books to read now. I'm understanding that what I want to do is just grow myself to become the best version of myself. I have to learn how to grow, I have to learn how to be much more with myself in the moment. I have to understand to be in the present moment much more. I'm understanding that my dad and mum are disappointed in me to some extent, but they're also happy for me to some extent as well. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that Jesus Christ is happy with me, but I'm understanding that He's not disappointed in me. I'm understanding that Jesus Christ and God is not disappointed at me. I'm understanding why that is. I understand that God loves you how you are, and God wants you to do better, but God's never disappointed in you. So God always motivates you to do better. And I'm understanding that if you really, really understand God, you have to understand all sides of the story. You have to be learning to teach people. You have to understand every single time to always learn how to grow yourself in the moment. So when you grow yourself in the moment, you're always looking to better your life. And when you better your life, you're always making sure that you're documenting your life in the process, but you're teaching in the process of love and fortune, and you're making sure every single time that you're doing something for nothing, for yourself to grow. And you have to keep growing. You have to keep always developing yourself in terms of your mindset so that you understand much more about life. But I'm understanding that I'm very strong right now in terms of what I'm doing. And I'm trying to do my one-step program now. And I'm understanding that with my weight class, I'm understanding that I'm dropping weight. I'm understanding that I'm remaining very, very disciplined in terms of what I eat and drink. I'm understanding that I'm not eating hummus and peanut butter. I'm not eating bread either. I'm understanding I never want to ask my dad again to build me any food. I never want to ask my dad to make me food because he doesn't know what's good for me. And also, I'm staying away from the rice. I'm staying away from the pasta. I'm understanding I can drop weight really fast and quick. And I never want to eat potato ever again because potato is full of carbs and you have to eat low carb food. And I'm understanding that my nice and beautiful soy milk with Weet-Bix and with the beans and legumes are very healthy for me to eat, and it gives me all the vitamins I need. I understand that, so my mum wants to make sure that I get all the vitamins and minerals for myself, so she wants to make me food. But the thing is that I feel that we're going to get into an argument about that. I feel that I want to make sure that I eat what I can eat for myself to grow. And I'm understanding that she says that if you eat the same foods every day that your body gets sick of it. I'm understanding that. But the thing is that with myself, I understand that I can eat the same food every single day and I don't get sick of it. I don't get sick of my food at all. I'm understanding now I want to stay away from the McDonald's as well. I'm understanding that now I'm a vegan. I'm full-time vegan now. I understand my dad was eating some chicken before and he was asking me to eat chicken. I don't want to eat chicken. I don't want to eat chicken. I don't want to eat any meat that he makes for himself, because it doesn't satisfy me and food doesn't satisfy me. So I may as well be vegan. And I make sure every single day now I'm on the road to success. I'm making sure I'm building my confidence now again. I'm making sure that this time around I'm going to record myself. I'm going to record every action. I'm going to record my life as I move forward, and as I progress forward. I have to learn, I have to grow. I have to make sure every single time now that all my documentation goes into audio programs, and that my audio programs are going into my Mega Drive now. So I do better for myself, and so I grow myself in the fullest version I can every single day. And I'm understanding now for myself that I have to also place my audio programs into Spotify. And now if I do that for myself, I understand it's really, really beneficial for me to do it. I'm understanding it's going to help me to move forward. But the thing is that Mega Drive is more enough for me. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that with Spotify, with my music production, I'm understanding I'll let it go for now. I'm understanding that with music production, I want to do music production more often. I understand that I want to make more music happen for my life. I'm understanding that I have much more of a vocabulary in terms of how to make music. Now I'm much more better with my FL Studio now. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, but I have to grow, I have to keep learning, I have to keep growing, because music is a part of my life and I like to make music. I like to talk, I like to socialize with myself every single day. I like to do something to prevent disease in my life. But it's not too late for me, I understand that. I understand it's not too late for me to grow. I'm understanding that I'm looking to document my life in a better way now. I'm making sure I'm always developing myself in the best way possible. I'm understanding I'm going to have to go through shit to get to the green side for myself. I'm understanding I have to go through some headaches and stuff like that. I'm understanding that I have to go through some thoughts of smoking cigarettes and caffeine for myself to get into a better state of mind, because I understand that once the caffeine wears off and once the cigarettes wear off, I understand the cravings are going to come. And I'm understanding that cravings come in the form of thoughts. So what I do now is I try to remain vigilant for myself to grow, and vigilance means excellence, and it means being able to be vigorous in terms of being able to have strength to really, really develop myself every single moment, and every single time I really, really grow. I'm always looking to develop myself in whatever I do. But seriously guys, if you need to fight, make sure you fight, and make sure you never be embarrassed for your farts and stuff like that, because when you have to fight, you have to fight, you have to let go of the gas, I mean, yes, and so just learn that, and just realize now for myself, I'm understanding that if I talk my way through life, I'm understanding that I find much more passion and much more vigor to be able to develop myself in different ways. I'm understanding that what's coming up in my life is going to be better. I'm going to be a father. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to develop myself to be a father in life. I'm understanding that things didn't work out with some woman from back in the past. I hope that I'm not too upset about that. I make sure that I understand that they are never upset about that. I'm making sure you understand that I can talk to this girl and it's nice to talk to her, but the thing is that I want to move on from her. I'm understanding that she's a nice girl, but she's very quiet. But the thing is, she's also very fidgety, and she makes me happy. But the thing is that nobody can make me happy. I understand that. I understand the only thing that I can make happy is myself. I'm understanding that everybody's responsible for their own happiness in life. But me and her, in terms of this girl, Natasha Georgievich, I'm understanding that she used to love me, and she does love me still. But I'm understanding that for myself to talk to her now, I'm understanding it's too late. And it's never too late for me to talk to her. But the thing is, with me and her, I'm understanding that we're moving on. I understand I can say hi, how are you, but that's as far as the conversation goes. And I can update her about life, but she's going to get a man. I mean, she's going to get a boyfriend regardless, and what's going to happen is she's going to talk less to me regardless of the situation in the future. So I want to understand that I can be friends with her, for the rest of my life. I'm understanding that we're still friends, but I'm understanding that it just won't work out between me and her because I have to go overseas. I have to make sure I'm developing my life, but I love to talk about different scenarios and different ways of thinking. So I'm understanding that I've been studying psychology, I've been studying the ways of the mind. I'm understanding that what I want to do is write a new book. And what I'm doing every single time now is I'm getting all my books and I'm writing all my books into videos now. And I want to keep going. I want to keep making sure I'm doing better for myself in every single way. I'm understanding with Liverpool, I'm understanding that I can go and do a busking performance over there. I'm understanding that now, I'm understanding I'll just do everything on video camera because I need a new tripod. I need myself a new selfie stick. I'm understanding that I have more than enough with what I have today. I'm succeeding in different ways now. I'm making sure I'm following Jesus Christ the best way I can now. I'm understanding that when the cravings come, I'm understanding I'm going to take up my cross. I'm going to make sure every single time now that I'm going to focus on a clean life. I'm going to make sure I wake up early. I'm going to make sure I go to sleep early. I'm going to make sure that I work the 9 to 5 job as much as I can every single day to make some money so I can be happier in life. And now I know that the money doesn't make me happy, but I cannot rely on my mum for money, and I'm understanding that. So my mum wants to make me a business and she wants me to prosper and become abundant, and I respect that. So what I understand that without my mum, I understand that I have to live life without her then. I'm understanding that without my mum and dad, I understand that life would get tougher on me, and I'm understanding that more responsibilities will come my way. But I'm understanding that I'd be on the disability support pension for now, but I'm understanding that whatever happens in Tuesday, in terms of on Tuesday, I'm understanding I have an appointment with the psychologist. I'm understanding that they're going to assess me for disability support pension, and I'm going to try everything to make sure I get my disability support pension. So I'm going to say everything like I'm sick, I cannot work because my mindset doesn't let me to, and I'm just going to act disabled. And you must understand that I can work, I just don't want to work right now the 9 to 5 job because I'm moving overseas anyway, and I'm learning how to grow myself in the process. I'm making sure I understand how to grow, I understand how to do my life in the best way possible. I'm understanding that people go on with their lives and people live their lives in different ways, and I respect that. I understand everybody has a unique life. I'm understanding that the more you help people, the more you develop yourself in your strength and your abilities, and you learn how to grow yourself in the process of mind, and you make sure every single day that you're learning how to grow yourself. But I have to develop myself. I have to find ways to deal with my life every single moment. I'm understanding that if I record my life more than enough in every single moment, I'm understanding that I can really develop myself in the best way possible. I'm making sure now that I'm always planning my life. I see what's to come in my future now. I'm understanding that on Thursday I'll go poker, and on Saturday and Friday I'll go poker. I'll go play some poker, and I'll try to win. I'll try to make sure that I'm reading while I'm playing poker so I don't waste time. And I'm making sure that I'm reading anyway, but the thing is that when you read much more often, you become a better reader, and you start to develop yourself in your vocabulary, and you start to become smarter about life. But I see that democracy is freedom. I understand that. I understand that if you really want to be a Democrat, then you have to work for freedom, and you have to work for yourself every single day. So I'm understanding that I have passions that I do. I'm understanding that I never get sick of my passions. I'm understanding that I can make music every single minute of every single day. But the more I make music, the better I get. So with my next track, I'm understanding that I still have tracks to make sure that I can produce them. I'm understanding that next I want to make sure I make some melodies. I make sure that my music is basing it on melodies. I make sure that I understand that. I understand that when I base my music on melodies, I want to do music composition as well. I want to make sure I'm doing something to record my life in the process. So I'm really developing every single aspect of my life. I'm understanding the best way I can now develop my lifestyle is to stay away from the cigarettes and stay away from the caffeine, and then stay away from also the McDonald's, and stay away from potato as well. So I'm understanding to discipline myself this way. I'm staying away from the Red Bull. I don't need Red Bull to survive. I'm understanding that, and I'm staying away from the coffee now. So I'm going to have much more headaches in the coming days. I'm going to be much more lower on energy, but I'm going to drink soy milk to counter that. And I'm understanding that I can do it. Understand when I say that I can do it, I can do it. And I'm understanding that I don't want to be aggressive. So I apologize for that. I'm understanding that if I do anything to make sure that my life is successful, I'm making sure I'm always developing myself in every single way. I'm understanding on TikTok, I understand I have to keep going with that. I have to keep posting videos on TikTok. I have to keep making sure that I'm always consistent on TikTok. But the thing is that TikTok is going away from me very soon. And I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that it will be all for nothing. And I'm understanding that I can invest my time much better into learning German instead. And I can learn German. I can produce music in that time. So I'm understanding that I can counterfeit that. I can make sure that I'm understanding that I have followers and I have more than enough followers for me to just keep going with what I do. I'm understanding that I don't need any more followers, but the thing is I do need more followers as well, because I'm not doing my work for nothing. I'm doing it for something in life. I'm making sure I'm understanding that all I work for is for freedom. I'm understanding if I had all the money in the world now, I'd be with my father. I'm understanding that because the borders are closed over there in Germany, from Australia to Germany. I'm understanding that right now to go around the world without my family. I'm understanding that life. I'm understanding how that is to go around Australia without my dad and mum. And I've been doing that for 1 year and a half. I'm understanding I went around Australia. I've seen all the places. I've learned a lot in that space of time. I got myself into the best version possible for that time. I'm understanding that I didn't smoke cigarettes while I was going around Germany and while I was walking that much. I'm understanding how I can get back to health. I can get back into a better rhythm for myself. I'm understanding that it's never too late for me. I'm understanding now to just really just plan my life. I'm planning my life on words. I'm understanding that if I want to become a millionaire now, I have to make sure I communicate with people. I'm understanding I have to get out there. I have to start really developing my sense of freedom. I have to open up a business. I'm understanding what type of business am I good at. I'm understanding I'm good at a communicational business with people, where it's about personal development and freedom. And I'm understanding I can open up something about that. I'm understanding it's more life coaching. I can do it, and I can do life coaching. But the thing is, I have to open up a business about that. And now to open up a business, I do have a business account. I'm understanding now I need money. I need a startup business. I need money to be able to open up a shop for myself. So the thing is that I have to work a 9-to-5 job to actually get the money to make sure that I open up a lease, but then I have to be able to actually work in one place. But the thing is that with my mother, she wants to go to either Portugal or Spain at the moment to make sure that she can do hosteling. So make sure that I understand that with myself, I can continue life coaching online for myself, and with making money in my business, I can just go work with my mum, for example. And I think that's the best road for me as well. And I'm understanding that it's much more that I develop myself this way. And I'm understanding that everybody's different. But if my mum and dad wasn't here, I'm understanding I have a house, I have a car, I have all this, and I make sure every single day that I'm on the disability support pension as well. And then I understand I have to get a 9-to-5 job as well. And what am I good at? I'm good at communicational skills. I'm understanding I can develop my communicational skills with people, and I can learn to grow in an environment where I'm thriving. I'm making sure that I'm taking care of my health, and every single day I'm making sure I'm always developing myself to live to 100 years of age. I'm understanding I can get there. I'm understanding that it's possible for me to get to 100 years of age from now on. I'm asking Jesus Christ, am I able to succumb to 100 years of age in my life? I see Jesus Christ says, yes, I can do it as long as I be consistent with what I'm doing and what I'm eating. I'm understanding that if I really want to make it to 100 years of age, I can. I really can. I'm understanding that it's much more about developing myself and my freedom now. I'm understanding I do have freedom to some extent. I'm making sure I'm taking care of my health. I'm taking care of myself now. I make sure I can prepare for the future. I can make sure I can do a better job for myself. And now what I want to do is with soccer, I'm understanding that I'm over with soccer. I have nothing to do with soccer anymore. I'm understanding I'm following Manchester United at the moment. I see they lost against Middlesbrough, and they lost in the FA Cup, and I'm making sure that I understand that. I still Djokovic, I'm just always curious about him as well. I'm making sure I'm curious about people, I'm curious about reading, I'm making sure I'm reading as much as I can every single day. I'm understanding that there is a time for reading and time for growing myself as well. I'm understanding that tone of voice is very important, guys, for how you actually develop yourself in your freedom. So make sure that you're always giving a story, so that you have to actually grow yourself in the midst of everything that you're saying. So when you're saying something, you're actually growing, and you're just repeating yourself in different ways, and you're just learning different ways of saying something and different ways of doing something. So it's much more about understanding that no matter what, that with my podcasts, I'm understanding I have over 400 podcasts that I can upload to YouTube. I'm understanding that I can keep going with that. But the thing is that it's a lot of time to process. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that for myself to upload all that into YouTube, I'd rather just upload it into Mega Drive for myself. I'm understanding that Mega Drive is more enough. And I'm understanding that if I create any videos of myself, I just post videos onto YouTube. I'm understanding that. And I keep going with my life. I'm understanding that popularity is on my side. I'm understanding I am popular to some degree. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that I'm developing myself in my freedom. I understand that people don't know my history, and people don't know my past as well. And people don't know what I've been doing with my life. But even though I've been exposing my life fully, I'm understanding that I'm doing the best I can. I'm making sure that every single day I just do the best I can with everything I do, so that I grow myself, and so I really, really develop my freedom and courage every single day. But this is the kind of stuff I have to do in a video as well, and this is something I have to talk about while I'm actually in a video with people, and while I'm actually just communicating, so I can really, really learn, and so I can really grow. Because what I say on audio programs is very different to what I do on video, and video is much more teaching you, while also audio programs is teaching you, but in a different way. So I have to always emulate myself in better ways, and I have to really, really develop my freedom and courage to succeed every single time. So I'm understanding that for myself, when I talk, I really take myself into a different imagination, and I really, really do it differently on audio than I do it on my nice and beautiful video programs. And I'm understanding it's very different. I make sure every single day that my writing material is very different as well. And I'm really, really just growing myself in different ways, and I'm making sure I'm just learning how to grow in the process of everything. So I learn how to really develop myself in the process. And I make sure every single time now that I'm really learning how to grow myself in the process of everything. And so I can really develop myself in my courage and my freedom. But I see now for myself anyway, I'm understanding that it's a standstill, and I'm understanding that I still have to grow in a standstill way, and I make sure I'm always developing myself in a nice and beautiful way every single time. So I'm actually growing. I'm making sure I'm developing my freedom and courage every single time. I'm making sure every single time that I'm doing something to better my life. I'm making sure I'm always looking for a better way, and that's the way. I mean, the way is forward. I mean, if you're going forward with your life, you're looking for different ways of saying stuff, and making sure every single day that you're learning something about life. I'm understanding that I'm happier when I leave cigarettes, and when I never smoke cigarettes, and when I never drink caffeine, I'm happier. And I have to associate myself with better people all the time. I have to make sure that I'm growing myself in different ways. I'm understanding that from my mum's point of view, I think that these doctors are going to decrease my medication, and I can see that. I can actually see that from my mum's point of view, that they are going to decrease my medication slowly. And from my point of view, that I see that the doctors are decreasing my medication as well, to some extent. So I'm understanding that slowly, I'm understanding they're going to decrease my medication. I'm going to lose weight slowly. I'm going to get back in the rhythm. I'm making sure I'm getting back in the rhythm now. I'm making sure I'm healthier in the process of life. I'm making sure that I'm understanding that McDonald's is not going to harm you in the short term, but in the long term it does. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that I'm going to live a life to the fullest. I'm going to make sure I have nirvana in my life. I'm going to have much more potential to understand meditation in my life. I'm going to grow. I'm going to make sure I'm learning how to grow myself in every single moment. I'm making sure I can do some music composition. I can make sure I can do it now as well if I want. And I make sure that I understand something that I have to read. Also, music production, I have to understand to read from people as well. And I have to develop myself every single time. I make sure every single day I'm really learning, I'm really growing with myself. Every single time I have to really give money for that fine that I have. I have a fine with the court because I hit a woman and I have to pay off the fine. I'm understanding that she has no fine. She never went to jail and she never went to court for hitting me first. And I'm understanding that it's going to come back to her in some other way. I'm understanding that karma's a bitch. I'm understanding that, so I really understand to really develop myself every single day. I'm making sure of that. So what I want to do now is just grow. I want to make sure I'm learning how to grow myself and take myself into an imaginational world. So I really grow myself, and so I really learn how to really be in the moment with myself. So for myself now, I understand that now is the time to just grow. And how I grow is just develop my communicational skills. But the best way to develop your communicational skills is to learn more vocabulary and also to just keep talking much more and to learn different ways of saying stuff so that you understand much more about your perspective and what you came to do about this life. But the more you talk, the better for you, and the more you're actually going to learn about life, and the more you're going to really prosper. So make sure every single moment of your life you're documenting your life, you're really doing something to succeed in every single moment possible, so you really understand much more about life, and so you really understand how to develop yourself. But with business, I'm understanding with business, I understand now I have a business, I do something for myself which is my hobbies, and that's my business. I'm understanding that if I want to make money through my business, I'm understanding that I tried to make money through public speaking. I understand it didn't work out because people cannot pay $200 to see me. I'm understanding that I tried to make money on that day, and it didn't work out. But the thing is, it did work out in another way where I made sure to just develop myself in terms of having a public speaking event for myself on video. And I understand that no matter what, that from now on I'm never going to do that again. I'll make sure from this point on I'm going to do free seminars for people, and I'm understanding that is busking performances, or I can do it online. I can do my work online. I can do what I do online. I can make sure I can always develop myself that way. But to make money on my business now, I'm understanding that I cannot stay local right now. I can do anything I want, but the thing is I have to move overseas first of all. So then once I move overseas, I understand that we have to move again to either Portugal or Spain. So from that point on, I understand that if I open up a life coaching business in Spain, I'm understanding it's all Spanish. I understand over there it's all Spanish. So the thing is, for me, I have to be with my mum and I have to keep doing what I do, but I understand that's my destiny. So the thing is that from that point of view, I have to keep growing, I have to keep learning as well. I have to make sure I'm working. I make sure every single day and I'm working for my mum, I'm working for my family, I'm working for a better way every single time. I'm understanding that from that point of view, I'm understanding that things are going to be different. I'm understanding I'm going to go sleep earlier. I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm not going to drink caffeine because I'm not much of a caffeine drinker anymore. And I'm not a caffeine drinker anymore. I'm not a smoker anymore. I'm a non-smoker. I'm understanding that every single day I see my dad smoking from now on. I make sure to just move away from him. I make sure to keep moving away from my dad now. And I make sure that no matter what, I let him approach me first. I make sure that no matter what, that I don't want to frustrate him in a negative way. I want to make sure that he doesn't have a heart attack. I make sure that I take care of him in a different way. And I don't want to kill anybody. I'm making sure of that. And I'm making sure that I learn how to grow myself in the process of life. Now with wrestling, I understand I can still watch wrestling. I could still watch something every single day. I can keep watching something, and with Netflix, I understand I can now just keep going with it. I can keep going with that, and I can keep developing myself in different ways. I'm understanding that now with girls, I'm understanding that nothing's going to happen until Spain and Portugal. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that it's going to be a different life. I'm understanding that no matter what, that things are different now. And in Germany, I'm understanding that I'm not going to have a girlfriend in Germany by the looks of it. So I'm understanding that in Spain sometime, or in Spanish, I'm understanding that my girlfriend is more likely to be Spanish now. I'm understanding that. So what I do is I keep going now. I'm understanding that I have to keep learning German. I have to keep learning Spanish now as well. I have to learn different languages. I have to make sure that I keep occupied with that. So I'll grow myself in my intellect, and so I really understand much more about every single nationality. And I like to learn, I like to grow, and I like to invest my time to grow myself. So the best thing I can do now is connect synonyms together every single time. And also I can connect words together with German. I have to write in German, I have to write in different languages. And that's good for me, to be bilingual, because bilingual people are much smarter than other people, and that way you really learn how to really appreciate yourself in the long term. And I'm saying anyway, I can learn by also reading audiobooks, and I read people's tonalities, and by reading people's tonalities I understand how they talk, and I understand what they talk about as well sometimes when I listen, and I understand when I really listen, I understand what they're talking about. And I'm understanding it's more about how they talk than what they say. I'm understanding it's more about the tonality than it is about the words said. I'm understanding that, so it's much more about how I'm reading really fast now. And I'm really developing my Audible in terms of my audible.com now. I'm really understanding with Blinkist, I can let it go now. I'm understanding that I can really understand that Blinkist was nice and clear for me. I'm understanding that what I want to do is keep going with everything. I make sure every single day that I want to pick Audible in terms of audible.com now, to keep going with Audible, because it records how much I read by day. And for myself now, I'm understanding that what I want to do with driving, I'm understanding I have to get a license over there in Spain now to drive, but I may never need a car at the moment. So I'm understanding that in Germany I feel that I'm not going to get a license over there, because my mum wants to go to Spain over there in terms of the Portugal or Spain. So I'm understanding over there to drive a car is different. I'm understanding that I may not need a car and I may not need to drive anymore. But the thing is that eventually I may have a girlfriend, and then eventually I may need a car. So in the best time possible I may have to get myself a car in the best time possible. I'm understanding that when I work for my mum, I'm understanding that I'm much more going to be able to work for her than other people. And I'm understanding it's going to be much more of a ride for me. I'm understanding that once my mum passes away, I'm going to make sure I can sell everything and I can go and start a new business for myself. And it's going to be different for me personally, but I can also live in Spain, I can live over there in Portugal, I can live and learn a new language, I can make sure to deliver content. I can make sure I'm really over there in a better way. I make sure of my life. I understand that new things are opening up in my life now. I'm understanding that Australia is going away from me. I'm understanding that the Serbian things and the Serbian nights are going away from me. But the thing is, I can keep going and visiting my cousins and family in Serbia. I'm understanding I can keep doing that for myself. And I can keep making sure that I'm really prosperous every single time. I have to look good, I have to feel good, I have to make sure that I'm looking for my health, I'm making sure I'm doing better with my health all the time. I'm understanding with poker online, I can play poker online, but the thing is that I have to develop myself much more. I'm understanding that if I want to help myself to grow, I have to really understand I can play poker and also document my life at the same time. And for myself, I can also read the book while playing poker. And now, since it's night time, I understand if I go to sleep now, I can wake up in the daytime. I'm understanding I can do that for myself as well. I'm understanding that no matter what, that I have to really delay gratification now as well. I have to delay cigarettes. I have to make sure I'm looking clean for myself. I can give the chips to the dog. I can give the chips to the dog. And I have potato chips over here that my dad made, but it's all cold, and I can give it to my dog now. I'm understanding that with my dog, I understand I have to do better with my dog, of course. I understand I'm not taking it out for walks because it shits everywhere, and I'm understanding that I have to clean its shit. So for myself, I have to take the dog out for walks as well. I'm understanding I can do that for myself from now on. I'm understanding that anyway, I have to develop myself as well. I'm understanding that no matter what, I have no problem cleaning up dog shit. But the thing is that I realize in the future I may not have a dog, or I'm understanding that a cat's much better than a dog for me. But the thing is that dogs have its place in my heart as well. I'm understanding that it's different. I'm understanding that I'm learning how to grow myself in different ways. I'm looking to plan my life. I'm understanding that in my future I realize that having a pet is no option for me. I'm understanding that because I don't see a pet in my future except my dogs over here, in terms of my dog over here. And that's my dad's dog. I'm understanding that's my dad's pet, but I'm understanding that I realize that for myself I have to be healthy. I have to be getting up every single day early. I have to every single day document my life. I have to document something about my life. I have to really understand how to really grow myself in the moment. And I have to develop every single moment of my life. But what I do now is every single moment of my life, I understand that if I upload much more about myself on YouTube, I understand that it's going to be through video, and it's much better to do it through video than it is to do audio programs. So I'm always developing myself this way. I'm making sure that I'm learning from my past, I'm learning from my history. I'm understanding I have a history of drugs, I have a history of taking drugs in my life, and I apologize for that. I see that's the way it is, but no matter what, I'm growing up to be a millionaire now, I'm growing up to be a billionaire. But the thing is that my mum really has a business mindset. She has much more of a business mindset than me in terms of making money, in terms of making real money now. I'm understanding that. I understand that she wants to open up this, so I may as well go with her. And whatever she wants to do about my life, I can do it. Except she has to respect me if I'm vegan, and she has to respect my food intake. So I'm understanding she does respect me being vegan, but she wants to feed me. I mean, she wants to make me food, and that's different. So I'm understanding that I can eat from what she makes, and I can develop myself in different ways, and I can make sure I can learn how to grow myself in the process. I'm understanding that everything comes back to you clean. I'm making sure I'm understanding that the universe is giving me what I deserve in life. I'm understanding I deserve this, I deserve what I have. I'm making sure of it. I'm making sure that I'm understanding that from God's perspective, that God wants to give me everything, and God wants to give me more than I have in life. And I'm understanding that in terms of what I'm doing now, I'm understanding that I have to win at poker next time. I have to understand that, and I have to really, really develop my skills to understand that when it's a full book draw on the flop, or when it's a full book draw, I see when it's a full book draw on the board, I'm understanding to check it, and that way it's much better for me to grow. I'm understanding that now with King 9, I keep playing King 9. I'm making sure that I'm understanding to just keep understanding that the best way to win in poker is to leave poker altogether and to never play it in the first place. But for social occasions, you can play if you want to be social. I'm understanding poker's going away from me as well now. I'm understanding that things are happening in my life where it's taking me all the way to a Spanish language now. I'm understanding that I have to keep learning, I have to keep growing. I'm understanding that my mum wants to also do something much more than what she's doing. I see she wants to provide a service for hostel people. I see she wants to build a house now, in terms of a hostel house where people can go over there, where she makes food and drink for people, and where she's making more money this way, and so she can have 6 months off and 6 months work and she wants to work as well, and she wants to do something more for herself, and I respect that. And I see she can do it. I understand she can do it, and anybody who's bold enough to make more money can do it. I'm understanding that for myself. I understand it's going to be a better future for me personally, because it's much better to work for my mum than it is to work for somebody else. So I'd rather just go with my mum now. I'm understanding that when she gets angry, I just give her silence. I make sure I give her silence when she gets angry. I make sure that I do what she says. I make sure that I keep her happy as much as I can, and for myself to keep myself happy in the process, and to reach her expectations of me. I'm understanding that if she expects more from me, I'll overcome her expectations, and so that I really grow myself in the process, and make sure that I'm really going to sleep earlier, so I wake up earlier, because that's the best way. I understand that. I understand it's the best way of income. I understand it's the best way to do things. Every single day I have to keep reading. I understand I'm getting smarter through the books I read. I'm reading different perspectives for different things. I'm understanding I'm reading the same thing over and over in different ways. I'm understanding that I'm just getting smarter through people's tonalities and how people speak. I'm understanding how to really conduct myself, because I can read and I can understand how to be smart for myself, and I'm really learning much more about different scenarios and different ways of thinking. I'm making sure I'm looking from different angles. I'm making sure I'm learning from outside the box as well. I'm understanding with these women that blocked me, I just move on. I realize it's done. I realize I can really do something about it, which is just move on from now on. I have nothing with them. I make sure I have something with myself. I have something with God. I realize I have God on my side, and I'm realizing that things are moving on now. I'm realizing every single day is a new day, and I have to do better for myself. I realize now to just keep going with myself. I'm understanding that I have to keep uploading online. I have to keep doing something online. I have to really succeed online every single day. I have to really develop myself every single time. I really understand that. I understand that the more I talk, the better for me. I realize the more I actually learn, and the more I actually succumb to a better way of life. I realize that. And for myself over here, I'm understanding that traveling the world now is something that I do through my words. I understand I do it through audiobooks. I do it through images. I'm understanding how to do that. I'm understanding that I'm really understanding how my life is going to pan out much more now. I'm realizing that new gates are opening. I see that. And for myself, I see how to live a better life for myself. So what I want to do now is just grow. I want to make sure I'm learning how to grow. And what else can I do now other than follow Jesus Christ? I can read. I can do some music production. And now with my next track, I understand that I can really develop myself by reading more. I have to read more music production, and I have to develop myself and my ability to grow. I understand that with my mum, I have to be more honest about myself. I have to really come clean every single time. I really have to develop myself every single day. I understand every single day I have to be much more honest every single day with myself, because I understand that never saying the accurate things about life is gonna just weigh you down. I'm understanding it's much better to be accurate about life. I'm realizing for myself to grow, I'm making sure I can really develop myself every single time now. I'm making sure that I'm really learning how to grow. I'm learning how to grow myself in different ways. I'm learning how to just make better decisions for myself. I'm understanding what I can do at night is my passions, like reading. I can read, I can do some music composition, I can do some Netflix. I can have a bath now. I can make sure I can also talk to you guys. I can make a video content. I can just do that. And I can write something down as well. And I can pass by time quickly. But now it's just about delivering content and delivering much more of me every single day. So I have a recollection of my voice on audio programs, so I really do better for myself to grow. And it's much more about following Jesus Christ in every single moment now. I realize it's about overcoming situations now for myself. I can play poker. I can play online poker. I realize it's much more about delivering content now, so I really help myself to understand much more about life. So it's much more about how I really live life in the moment now. I need to live life in the moment. I need to do better for myself. And that's it. I see now to go bed. I don't want to go bed right now. I see it's much more how I have to do something to better my life. And I have to make sure I'm doing it every single time now for myself. So I can grow myself in the process. So I live life in the moment, and I have to really develop my attitude. I have to develop my sense of freedom. I'm understanding I have freedom now. I understand that on Monday, which is today, I have to call up now 8 p.m. I have to really get a new appointment with them, and also have to do job search this week. I have to do some stuff this week, so I'll make sure that I can get through it, and next week I can give $100 toward the fine I have with the court, and that way I just keep going. And I just keep going for myself now. I'm understanding that no matter what, the time's passing by very quickly. I'm understanding that no matter what, I'm not old, I'm still young. I still have time, but I have to keep reading. I have to keep making sure that I read something daily. So I really grow myself, and so I really help myself to perform much better. So that's the whole point for myself, and to really grow in the moment is how I really grow. I understand how to really develop myself. So the whole point of life is just growing myself in the moment and making sure that no matter what, that I build confidence now moving forward. And I have to build confidence. I have to make sure I stay strong. I have to stay vigilant for myself to really develop. And what I mean is I have to have more strength for myself to really empower myself to grow. I'm understanding now that since I have phones over here, since I have a phone, I can really develop myself with my phone. I can use my phone to my advantage. I can read audiobooks. I can do some stuff around the house now. I'm understanding that the chips can go to the dog. I'm understanding I can drink my orange juice. I can make some music. And now with my music, I feel like just developing myself over here. I'm understanding that no matter what, that I'm really learning how to produce music much better now. I see with my subscriptions, I understand that now I have Jalinga, I have Mega Drive, I have Splice, I have YouTube. But with my mum, I understand that no matter what, I have to unsubscribe from everything and start from scratch to develop my understanding of everything. And I'm understanding that, so no matter what, that I start something new for myself. And I really understand that I'm not unsubscribing from Mega Drive, so I keep Mega Drive for myself and I keep my business going. So I'm understanding that I need to develop myself in different ways. I have to make sure I'm learning. I'm understanding that I have to go to Paddy's Market as well. I have to also do birth certificate as well, and that's coming up for me as well. So I have to get a new birth certificate. I have to get my papers for Germany. I have to make sure I can do that for myself. And then I get to see my mum as well, so that's coming up for me as well. And at the end of February 2022, my mum's going to get me a ticket, and she's going to start looking into a ticket to get me a ticket to come to Germany. So that way I learn how to prosper, I learn how to develop myself, and I'm learning how to really grow. I'm really making sure I can really grow myself in the process. And I'm learning how to develop, so I have to develop. So I see this one guy make it for Australia football team, and he's doing good for himself, and I see that. So for myself now, I see I have to grow myself. So it's much more how I have to be in the moment. I have to make sure I'm in the moment. I have to develop my moment in terms of moment's notice, and I have to develop myself every single time now. And the best way to develop is to read more and to grow more and to be much more in the moment with yourself and to develop. But the best way you can develop is Jesus Christ. I mean, that's the best way. And that's the way of life. So I'm understanding that now. I have cravings for cigarettes. But I'm going to stay away from cigarettes. I'm going to stay away from the caffeine as much as I can. And develop myself every single time now. So I'm understanding that I have to really, really develop. I have to develop myself. And that's it. So for myself now, I'm understanding I can do some music composition. And to go to bed now, I'm understanding nah. I'm understanding that I have to really, really develop myself anyway. I see with my dad, I'm understanding he goes to bed early. I mean, he went to bed already. I realized he went around 12 o'clock. And now, for myself over here, I'm understanding that the bath I can do just for myself over here. I can understand that I'm going to have a bath. I'm going to have a shower very soon. And for myself to just grow, I have to grow. I have to develop. I have to make sure I'm reading something. I have to constantly do something to succeed. I have to constantly follow Jesus Christ in every single moment of my heart. I have to really develop myself. I understand that no matter what, the life's happening. And really, really now is time for myself to grow. I have to do job search. I have to do job search now. And I just go and really, really do that while I'm reading. I have to read that. I have to do my job search while I'm reading an audiobook. And now I may have to also do some paperwork now with APM, where I may have to also do their courses. So we'll see what happens with my assessment with the psychologist. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I'm really, really growing myself. I'm understanding that I can grow myself. And I'm developing. But if they ask me, can I drive a car? I say yes, I can drive a car. And I just keep going. And I'm never killing people. I'm never doing anything to disturb other people in negative ways. I'm being nice and making sure that I really, really grow myself. But you have to keep learning throughout life, and you have to make sure that you're learning all the time. Everything. I mean, you must be learning all the time. What's happening around the world, you must be always on point, and you must realize every single day of your life has to be a new day. And you have to grow yourself. But I see that people are going to fall out with me, and they're not going to know where I am, and they're always going to wonder where I am, because they don't really keep up with me, and they're not really searching for me right now. So what's going to happen is they're going to ask themselves, where's Danny? I mean, what's he doing? And they're going to see my YouTube channel, and they're going to see what I'm doing online. And that's how they're going to keep up with me in life. So it's much more how it is. So for myself, I have to keep it up. I have to keep posting online. I have to keep creating content. I have to create something, because that's how you grow. I mean, you grow through making content, and you grow through developing yourself in different ways, and you make sure that you're doing the best you can in every single moment. So anyway, I see that life can get very boring. I mean, life can be very boring. But if you have silence in your life, then you can never be bored when you have silence. I mean, do you understand? So you have to really make sense every single day. You have to make sense of what you're saying and what you're doing in terms of life. And you have to really grow yourself in the moment. You have to really, really perform yourself to do better for yourself. So I never feel like a cigarette. I realize that I may have to feel like shit now for a bit. I'm understanding that I'm not craving cigarettes with my body. But I also have to talk to myself while I'm doing things. And it's not nice to have a cigarette. I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that I have to take care of my health, and I have to do the best. I have to do the best that I can in every moment. I have to make sure that I stay away from those drugs. I have to stay away from most of life out there. But my health is getting better now. I'm taking care of my health. I'm making sure I do something to help my life to succeed. And now's the time to just go and do my music composition. I'll go and do some music composition, listen to some music. I follow Product Culture, so I'm following Product Culture at the moment. And I'm reading his Nice and Beautiful albums, and I'm listening to his music. And then I want to go and see Ali and Fila. And I want to read all their music as well and what they've done in terms of music. And just keep going with that. And just keep learning from the process of life. I see anyway, you have to keep always doing something. You have to keep doing something. And you have to keep occupied, and you have to keep taking care of your health in the moment, which is the biggest thing that you can do. I mean, the biggest thing you can do is stay away from cigarettes and stay away from the caffeine. I mean, that's the best thing you can do. Because caffeine and cigarettes do not satisfy you. But what satisfies you is what you stay away from. And you must learn that. You must learn that. I see anyway, so since you learned that, make sure you're always developing yourself and you're in the moment. So what I want to do now is just go and do some music composition and listen to some music a bit. And then I want to read an audiobook. I want to write some more down. I want to write some things down. And then just learn and grow. I mean, for myself, I understand that I have to be social. I have to be social with people. And I have to realize that Snapchatting with people is not working out at the moment. I see people are not talking to me. And it's because they don't want to talk to me, so I'm understanding they have nothing to talk about, so I'm understanding that they're boring. So I just move on. I see life goes on. See on Facebook, I see Facebook is dead for me. So I have nothing to do on Facebook much. And for myself, I just keep creating content and keep going through life. I mean, keep living life to the fullest. But I can do my life coaching or video. I can make sure I can do something about that. I'm understanding that building TikTok followers now, I understand that I just keep going. I just keep going with everything. I'm understanding that it's going away from me anyway. I'm understanding that at the Camino I'm having no internet over there. So it's going to be difficult for me to keep going with TikTok. So I'm understanding that I just let it be now. So I'm understanding that for myself now, I really have to develop myself. I have to really keep learning. I'm understanding that people are sleeping now. I mean, you have to understand that there's always something to do. You have to keep positive, and that's why I used to smoke. I used to smoke because there's nothing to do. And I used to smoke because I felt like it. I used to smoke because I have nothing to do, but I always have something to do. And you must understand that with smoking cigarettes, nothing happens. I mean, the best thing you can do is take care of your health in every single moment and be strong about everything that you say and do. I mean, what you say goes. I mean, you understand? So, live your integrity. I mean, make sure you have integrity in your life every single day. Always make sure you're documenting and living a great life for yourself every single day. So make sure you understand that no matter what, the best thing I can do now is just keep growing. I just keep growing with myself. I keep learning in the moment to really develop myself, to understand something about life, and to really grow myself in the moment is the best thing I can do right now. So what I want to do is just grow. I want to make sure I'm really developing myself in terms of myself every single day. So I'm actually growing. So I'm understanding that I'm learning how to grow, but I want to be experiencing more about life. So the best thing I can do is to develop myself in every single moment. So I'm understanding that it's much more about love and freedom for me. So I'm actually growing myself, and that's it.